Hello, hello. This is Get Real with Eileen, and today we're going to get real about car accidents. As we're talking about maps and the things, how wide the freeways, how huge LA County is, car accidents are a big thing here. Like, you see a car accident literally every day. And not joking, about 2 weeks ago, I actually saw a dead body on the floor off of the 405 freeway. So, as we talk about freeways, I also want to get into car accidents because I myself have been in multiple car accidents. One of them was my fault, and the other two, well, the other three were not. So they really changed my life. Getting into car accidents was a big deal. Um, I had to go through, the chiropractor, had to go through the doctors, had to get an x-ray, an MRI. I had to make sure like all thing was good. I had two major accidents. One of them, I had four slip discs, two on my neck, two on my lower back. That one I literally could have died in, but I didn't. I'm still here. The most recent one was actually 2 days ago. Somebody swiped us in my boyfriend's car when we were on going to the 405 on the ramp. The guy was behind us and he tried to cut us off on the merging lane of the 405 ramp. And so he literally just slammed into us. Um, Therefore, that one, he was from behind us. That was his fault. I wasn't driving on that one. But I want to talk about getting sideswiped. So last year, 2021, I got sideswiped by somebody, and I'm going to let you guys know the rundown on how I handled that whole situation. So I was actually on the 105, like literally just got on the 105 because I live in the LAX area. And as I was going down on the second lane, eventually I wanted to go on the 110 North to go pick up my friend because we were going to go to Vegas. And we did end up going. And so, right before Crenshaw Boulevard, I was just on the second lane, literally not even thinking about anything. I was just listening to music. I noticed that the three lanes on the left side were going a lot slower than I was. Usually that's not the case. Usually it's the right lanes that are slower. So we're right here. This is the carpool lane. This was the exit lane. I was right here on the second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was on the second going on the 105 east before Crenshaw Boulevard. Because I literally just got on the freeway. And this guy was going a lot slower. And he literally just bashed into me. Like, took out my mirror, my rear view mirror. Um, and this guy, he kept going, actually. He wasn't trying to stop. He kept going until, like, because he hit me just so straightforward, everyone around me, all the other cars around me noticed. And so when he hit me, um, I was just like, oh my God, I got my phone. I started taking pictures of his plates because in that case, it's a hit and run. And hit and runs are literally the worst. Like, you get in a lot of trouble with a hit and run. You might as well just pull over. Even if it's your fault, just pull over. So, what happened in this situation was that there was a construction car, van, and it was behind him, and I was behind him taking photos of his license plate because you do need the license plate, the type of vehicle, you need to make sure the color of the car, what's the make, what's the type, the model, and like you need to put these things in your head right away. You need to take a picture, whatever you need to do. And so this guy put down his window and he started yelling at him, "Go, pull over, pull over." And I was behind. And then finally, this kid, he was like 23, he pulls over, right? So he pulls over on the freeway. Again, we're before Crenshaw at this point. We pull over, and that's when I called the cops. And so as I called, these are things that you need to do. You need to file a police report. You need to get the facts straight. When you're on the freeway, it is the CHP that handles the accidents here in Los Angeles, California Highway Patrol. Those are the ones that are on the freeway. The ones that are not on the freeway, you need to go to the city police department, which is the street accident. So whatever city the accident was in, like for example, if it was in Downey, if it was in Southgate, if it was in Bell Gardens, Bell, Linwood, Carson, whatever it is, you need to call that police department and then you need to let them know. I guess the simpler way would be to call 911, but for me, I'd prefer to call the police department directly. Either or, you can call 911 or the police department. If you're on the freeway, again, it has to be CHP. So what happened in this scenario, I called the city police department. They told me, oh, well, you need to call CHP to let them know. And I go, okay. So they gave me the number. I called CHP. They sent someone. It took an hour, 1 hour, literally, like one whole ass hour. I was waiting outside. And what was interesting is that the kid was not trying to give me his information, you know? He was trying to be like, "Oh, I can pay you like $200." I was like, "What? $200?" And so people are always going to try to get out of it. They're always trying to get the cops not involved. They're always going to try not to get anyone involved with the situations, right? But in this scenario, it was very, very interesting because apparently it wasn't even his car. So that's one thing that the cops got out of this kid. Again, he was like a 23-year-old kid, and they do say people under 25 get into the most accidents. And honestly, that's been most of my scenario. And that other car accident that almost killed me, this one didn't. This one was just a side swipe. So with this one, the car he was driving was his girlfriend's uncle's car. So it was the girlfriend's uncle. And a little bit of drama was that the kid was trying to pay me off. He was on the phone with someone. He was like freaking out. And I was just like, well, we're just going to have to wait for the cops to get here and get the information from you because obviously you don't want to give it to me. So when the cops got there right away, he decided to talk to them. He approached them and he was trying to tell them that he was trying to give me the information, but that I didn't take it. And then I go, no, he wasn't. He wasn't trying to give me any information. Now that you're here, he's willing, which is great. And the police was also trying to be like, well, he says he's willing to give you the information. And we don't have to do a report. I'm like, no. We have to do the report. We have to do the report. Get the report. File police report. And he was just kind of like, well, he's willing to give it to you. I'm like, no, I don't care. Do the report. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you not want to do your job? Is this not what you want to do? And he's like, no, yeah, we can get it done. And I was like, okay, because it sounds like you're refusing to do the report. He's like, no, we could get it done. Here, let me get your information, registration, all that stuff. So he went back to the kid. He didn't even have his information out. I literally had my registration. I had my license, everything out, right? So that's another thing. The things that you have to give the cops for a police report, okay? So I'm going to write down what you're supposed to give. Okay, so when you give the cops your information, you need to give them your driver's license, obviously. If you don't have a driver's license, you get a pretty hefty penalty on your record for when you eventually get a driver's license. So you should always have your driver's license. You're also going to give the cops your insurance information, and the cops need your registration. So one thing also about like the registration stuff, this weekend when we got into a car accident, it was my boyfriend driving, and he had paid the registration, but he hadn't received the new stickers yet. So what I did was took a screenshot of him paying the registration on his phone, and then with that he was able to show them that he already paid it. It was just didn't come in the mail yet. So for sure, registration, be up to date, driver's license, be up to date. Obviously, neither of them can be expired. Um, your insurance, for sure, need to have that. So here's the issue: if someone that you hit or they hit you or whatever, you should also get uninsured motorist. So that's what actually saved me in my last accident with the kid swiped me. Was because I had uninsured motorist. So uninsured motorist is totally separate from your coverage. So the basic coverage is liability. That's if you hit someone else, you need to pay them because you hit them. Uninsured motorist, if they hit you and they don't have any insurance. And then the full coverage is collateral. That one is for yourself, in case your car it's a new car, it's a leased car, and they don't have insurance. It's not enough to cover it for whatever reason, and it's a total loss. This is gonna help you with the gap to pay off the car. So I'm just telling you guys what I've learned in my experiences from all the freaking car accidents I've been in. I'm not a broker or anything like that. I don't sell insurance. I'm nothing of that. I'm just doing this video because when we got into the accident this week, my boyfriend had no idea what to do. It was his first time. He's gonna turn 35, and he's his first time ever getting into a car accident. So that's why I'm sharing this information. Now, insurance is very important. So usually all you do is you exchange insurance information with the driver's license. If there's no cops involved. Right here, police report. I'm sorry if my handwriting is messy, guys. So usually you just switch insurance and driver's license. You don't need the other person's registration. Only the cops ask for the registration. The cops ask for that. This is for the cops. It's not really for you to give to the other person. That's one thing that the guy that my boyfriend got into a car accident this week, he was trying to ask him for his registration. And I was like, he doesn't need your registration. Only the cops need your registration. Why is that guy trying to get your registration, you know? It was weird. So with this scenario, the uncles, when I got sideswiped, when the guy straight up hit me and I was going, you could straight up tell that he hit me because his car, the damage was in the front end. And my car was damaged in the back end, in the middle and the back. Which means that he saw me and he came up on me and then he hit me, right? So that means it's his fault. So they're pretty good about that kind of stuff. But like if the person in front of you slams the brakes and you hit them from behind, that's on you because you hit them. You should have had that cushion of space to not hit them, right? And it is better at the end to just like give your information. Again, do not leave. Like, don't just run off. That's a hit and run. That's really bad. Like, you're gonna get a big trouble for that. Let me just warn you about that. So after the insurance information is switched, they're trying to figure out whose fault and they figure out whose fault it was and all that. there's a couple things that you're gonna have to do after you file, after you call your insurance to let them know. Let me see. I'm gonna cut this. So this is gonna be the part 2, get a lawyer. So make sure to go on to part 2. That's coming up. And I'm going to end this video here. Okay? I'll see you guys.